Many people might have doubts because they're uncertain or unaware of what the truth is. And we learned yesterday how very important it is to counsel the doubtful so that they might have some sort of certainty and trust in God's presence and his love for them. But many doubts come about because of a lack of knowledge, because of ignorance. Far from being an insult, ignorance literally means to not be aware or not to know. Many people do not know the truth about Jesus Christ, and many people do not know the truth of the church's teachings. And it's therefore up to you and to me, my dear friends of Christ, to instruct them with charity and without judgment. And we learn this best by Jesus himself, who demonstrates this, who models it for us in Mark's gospel when the Sadducees taunt him and try to trap him in the following scenario. Now, we have to remember that the Sadducees do not believe in the resurrection. They're sad, you see. Somebody taught that to me, so I thought I'd share it with you too. The Sadducees do not believe in the resurrection, so they're trying to ensnare Jesus in this trap. And they say to him, Master, Moses' law teaches us that if a brother dies, if a man dies without having children, that his widow must marry his brother and therefore bear children for the former brother, that his legacy might continue. And so they mention this, and then they indicate that a man had 7 brothers, and each of them dies after having married the woman after each man's death. And each of them has died without having any heirs. And then they say, in the resurrection, whose wife will she be? She was married to all 7. Now, of course, they don't believe in the resurrection, so for them, it's a ludicrous question. And to Jesus, it's a question that indicates the Sadducees' ignorance. This is what he says. Is this not why you are wrong? That you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God? For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. And as for the dead being raised, have you not read in the book of Moses, in the passage about the bush, how God said to him, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not God of the dead, but of the living. You are quite wrong. The first part of instructing the ignorant is helping those who are ignorant in the faith recognize their ignorance. Now, that has to be done with great charity and without judgment, just as Jesus does, using logic and reason. And those are excellent qualities to use because God himself has a reason. Literally, he has reason. And he has given rational human beings that very great gift that is his as well. You and I, we have reason. And we are to use that with charity, with kindness, with mercy, but also with logic to help others understand the truth of the faith. It also means that you and I, we need to be instructed properly in the faith. We need to study the catechism, study sacred scripture, know it, live it, so that we can help others live it as well. Instructing the ignorant is the second spiritual work of mercy. And when you and I, my dear friends of Christ, help to remove ignorance and to replace it with knowledge of the truth of sacred scripture and of the catechism, you and I, we make space for grace.